Hello everyone, my name is Paul. Welcome to my channel. If you haven't guessed from the title, this channel is all about growing strawberries in a raised planter bed that I'm going to build myself out of these 2x4s here that I've already cut up. There's some more somewhere else too. This isn't all of them. I've grown strawberries one year before, last year, in another raised bed that I built also. So this raised bed is going to be basically the same but bigger, and then I'm going to put more strawberry plants in it. So that's about it for the introduction. Now here's a disclaimer. I said I have built one of these before, two of them actually, and I have grown strawberries before, but I am by no means an expert in either of those things. I'm not much of an expert in anything, but hopefully there's some experts out there who view this and can give me some pointers if I need any, and if not, hopefully people just enjoy watching my strawberries grow, because I enjoyed watching them grow last year. That was fun. But anyways, without further ado, we're gonna build this now, and I'll show you how I did that. And yeah. Once I had gathered all the materials, I realized that of course I had cut something to the wrong length. That's a common problem for me because I don't make very detailed plans for any of my projects. Word to the wise, make detailed plans for your projects, because I totally could have used less materials had I made these cuts the right way. So the dimensions of the box are 3 feet tall, and then 6 feet long, and 2 feet wide, with about a foot of growing depth. I've read that's what strawberries need, is about a foot. All in all, it's 12 cubic feet of growing area. And then I looked up on Google how much that would weigh. I don't know how much dirt weighs. Roughly 1,000 pounds. I mean, that was a 2-minute Google search, so I'm sure people know better than I do. Anyways, one of the reasons I'm using 2x4s is because I wanted something that would hold up to that much weight. And then another reason is because 2x4s are readily available everywhere. Everywhere you live, everywhere anybody lives can go to a hardware store and get 2x4s. And then they're cheap. So I use 19 2x4s, and like I said, you can cut that number down if you plan properly. I spent roughly $70 on that, and then about another $5 on screws for all of this. I put 2 screws in basically every connection. Here we go. I had the front and the back. Those are all 6 feet long, and then these little boards that I'm screwing in now are 2 feet, so 6 by 2. And just put a little clamp on there so that things wouldn't fall over while I got this all set up, and then I just worked my way down. I think it started raining shortly after this, and my camera died, so that's why I skipped the other side. I put those cross sections in there because I'm worried with all that weight and that the 6 foot long boards would start to sag under all that weight. So I designed it slightly differently than I had my previous ones. And then with it being 2 feet wide like this, you are gonna have a 1/2 inch difference. You're gonna have to rip a 1/2 inch off of one of those 2x4s. Which hopefully you can do. With a little bit of planning, again, you can not have to rip a 1/2 inch board or a 1/2 inch cut off of one of those. Planning is key. Yeah, I'm wearing my safety glasses here, of course. You can't see it, but this thing just shoots wood chips straight into your eyeballs. I hate it. I hate it so much. But it works. I ended up using that offcut. You can use your offcuts for whatever you want. I used it to make stakes to keep my cat out of part of the yard where I'm trying to grow some grass. The cat thinks it's a litter box. Anyways, it fit very snugly in there. I had to push it down a couple times. Got it in there. I even went back for more because I wanted to make sure. I had some leftover paint from when I made the other two planter boxes, so it was a couple years old. Slathered a bunch of that on there and put it right next to the other two boxes. I climbed in there. It was awfully easy to get in. I figure with some 1x6s and some hinges, you can make a lid for the top. You can make it a little deeper too. You could put some hay in there. I already said, you know, the 2x4s were about $70. So my idea though is, I kind of crunched the numbers a little bit. For under $150, we could house quite a bit of the homeless in the area, or anywhere really, because you can, like I said, you can find 2x4s wherever you want, and they could paint the front however they want, and the back, and the sides. Spruce it up. And think about how nice that would look to have all these white boxes lined up instead of all the tents. And look how easily I got out of there. I think it's a pretty good idea. I filled this one with dirt though, because I'm gonna grow strawberries in it, not make a homeless colony. The whole reason I'm making the raised planter box and have the other raised planter boxes is because right underneath here is where all the cable and fiber optic and phone lines run for the neighborhood. So I can't put anything in there. But if you have your own dirt pile or whatever, you could use your own dirt in here and not buy dirt. I do feel silly buying dirt. But the dirt was about $40, I think, all in all. And then this was one of my favorite things to do, is just to spread it all out, have fun. I had a dirt box as a kid, not a sand box. Just a place in the yard where I could dig and play with my Tonka trucks. So I kind of reminisce about that. And then after this, I went to the grocery store and I got something for dinner, and I did buy one of those fingernail brushes so I could keep my fingernails clean.
Oh, shit.
Everything's ready at this point to get these strawberries in the ground. I kind of need to. There's a lot of rain coming. A whole weekend of rain. So I want to get them in now so that they can get all that fresh rain. I bought these plants, bought half of them at the local grocery store, the other half at the local big box hardware store. They're both the same brand. The ones from the grocery store look pretty pathetic. One of them already has a little strawberry on it. I don't think it's actually going to turn red or ripen. You can see here on the little tag, it tells you Spacey is about 18 inches apart. So given the math with this being 6 feet, yeah, that gives us about 4 plants, 2 rows of 4 plants each. This was originally 2 plants, and it kind of spread out, as you can see. So I just need to let it do its thing. I'm going to let these grow for as many years as I can. Hopefully it spreads out into 2 nice full rows. That little guy's not doing great, but anyways, these little, the strawberry flowers look pretty nice. Pretty cute. All right, we're going to set up the camera and we're going to get these in there. I would say with the proper planning and motivation, you could easily knock this project out in a day. If you wake up early enough, you could do it before lunch. But that's going to wrap things up for this video. If you liked it, you can let me know by hitting the like thing. And then if you know any plants that I could put around here to help attract pollinators, let me know down in the comments. And then if you want to see how these plants do for the rest of the year, or how to make some strawberry jam when they do produce some strawberries, or how many strawberries they're producing on a weekly basis, you can subscribe to the channel and follow along for more. Also, I'll be giving hopefully daily updates on these, but those will just be shorts. But on a weekly basis, I'll let you know a little more info. But yeah, we'll catch you on the next one, folks.